Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Thursday to you all. Today is Friday Eve. It is the 9th of April. Welcome to it. My good things for today are making these videos for you every morning. It's a good way for me to organize my time, gets me up out of bed and moving. Also, my daughters and my beautiful wife, of course, and pizza. I'm craving pizza. I don't know if we can really order pizza right now, although we probably can. Don't know if Mrs. Bruner would let us eat pizza. We'll see. Anyway, your good things include squats. Alan Puentes, congratulations on doing squats. YouTube, milk, avocado toast, muffins, cookies, pancakes, and Alfredo flatbread pizza, as well as dogs. Lots of people focusing on food and pets during this time that we're staying at home, and I think that's pretty cool. That's happening in our house. I've been barbecuing a lot, made salmon last night on the grill, and we'll be making chicken tonight on the grill. So anyway, here are your assignments for today. Today is Thursday. It is the 9th of April. We've completed good things. I would like you to do a reading log entry today, and by the way, I will figure out a way to score your reading log entries. I realize that I might be off on the number by 1 or 2, but I do realize that we should have collected them by now. Next week I'll figure out a way for you to submit those to me. You might be on the honor system as far as proving that you've actually done them or not, but I'll think of a way between now and next week to do that. But today you're doing number 62, or maybe it's 61, not exactly sure. And you're writing to prompt number 27, which looks like this. Which character reminds you of someone, and write why? So think about whatever book you are reading. Think of a character in that book that is prominent and important, and tell me who that person reminds you of. Maybe it's a person in your life. Maybe it's a different famous person, right? I'm thinking of Catherine Called Birdy. And you guys won't get this reference at all, but Catherine's father, Sir Rollo, in Catherine Called Birdy, reminds me of Louis De Palma, which was a character on a TV show named Taxi, who was played by Danny DeVito way back in the 80s, maybe even the 70s. But that's who Sir Rollo reminds me of in Catherine Called Birdy. And mostly just because he was really mean and bossy. But anyway, that's your reading log entry. Get that done today. Looking back at the assignment guide, the bulk of what you're working on today will be argument writing. So we're working on 2 teaching points today. Those are teaching points number 4 and 5. Let's take a look at those. And remember, you can find these teaching points on Haiku, right? If you go to my Haiku page or class and click on the argument writing link, these teaching points are right there. But we're talking about number 4 and 5 today. Here's number 4. Balancing evidence with analysis. Writers make an argument by analyzing the evidence in ways that help the reader follow the argument. And then number 5, taking stock. Writers self-assess by looking at their current work to ask how strong and how it is strong, maybe, and how it might be improved. And they're referring here in large part to the checklist, which I will be sending you today. So, speaking of what I'm sending you today, I'm sending you 2 items. These are example argument essays by 7th graders. And in reference to that first teaching point we just talked about, writers make an argument by analyzing the evidence in ways that help the reader follow the argument. If you look at this one does a great example in the body paragraphs of being very specific and making it apply to the reader. It's persuasive in a way that's going to apply to the people that they're trying to convince, and that is amusement park owners, I believe, in this essay. The second one, the same thing, and we're focusing on body paragraphs today. Earlier I've asked you to come up with your topic and then 3 solid arguments for your topic, and I'm going to have you write the middle of your essays today. You're writing your body paragraphs. So basically take those 3 ideas, right, your 3 reasons for why you think the way you do, and then create a paragraph for each one of them with evidence and reasoning explaining why your evidence proves your point. So this one is talking about I don't remember what this one. This one's something about animals and vampire bats. But anyway, whatever your topic is, focus on your 3 most important reasons why you feel the way you do. Present your evidence for each reason, and then you need to do a good job of that elaboration part. Explaining why your evidence supports your reasoning for why, you feel that kids shouldn't have to wear bike helmets, or you should be able to ride any ride you want at Disneyland or amusement parks or whatever. So those are our 2 teaching points. Your assignment for today is to write the middle. So you're going to write those 3 body paragraphs and submit them, or you're going to put them into a document, call them body paragraphs, and put them in the file you should have shared with me earlier this week that's called Argument Writing. The checklist. I'm also going to send you the checklist, and primarily for today, you should be focusing on this elaboration section, because that's what I'm having you do. So I included various kinds of evidence, such as facts, quotations, examples, definitions. I analyzed or explained the reasons and evidence showing how they fit with my claims and built my argument. That's exactly what I was just talking about. Consistently incorporated and cited trustworthy sources. Very important, right? We've talked about citation before. You need to do it with each of your pieces of evidence for each of your reasons. I wrote about another possible position or positions, a different claim or claims about this subject, and explained why the evidence for my position outweighed the counterclaims. So counterclaims or counter-arguments are really important. You're not going to get a good grade on an argument essay without acknowledging the other point of view. Last week I had you do your research, and I asked you to research both sides, so you should be familiar with what the other side of your argument is. And where a lot of kids get messed up is when they're presenting their counter-arguments, they present it too well, right? They act as if they need to argue for the other side. No, you're presenting your counter-argument simply to refute it, to make it clear what other people think, but most importantly, why they're wrong and your point of view is more correct. So make sure that's what you're doing. You don't want to do too good of a job of citing or stating the other argument. And then the final item here, I worked to make my argument compelling as well as understandable. I brought out why it mattered and why the audience should care about it. And that brings us back to that teaching point number 4, right? Make an argument by analyzing the evidence in ways that help the reader follow the argument. So think about who your intended audience is, which is me, and how would you persuade me to believe what you're believing, or think the way you're doing, or do the thing that you want your reader to do. All right, so that's our video for today. You're doing this reading log entry, and you're creating the body paragraph. So the first draft for your body paragraphs for your argumentative essay, submitting those in the shared folder. Call them body paragraphs. You should have 3 of them. I will send you another video tomorrow. This video will shoot out to you in just a few minutes, around 8 o'clock actually it'll be a few minutes after 8 o'clock on Google Classroom. Have a great day. Stay healthy and safe. Bye-bye.